Hey guys, we're back with some more whitetail content, and in today's video we're going to be talking about bedding area maintenance and a few things that you need to make sure that you're doing every single season to make sure that the deer are using the bedding areas that you want them to in the fall. And there are two very easy things that I want to talk about in this video that you can do that really don't take a whole lot of effort. And these will ensure that the deer continue to use your bedding locations. And the first tip is very easy, and you can do this just by walking through your bedding areas. And that's just to find any sticks or big branches or logs that might have fallen into areas that the deer want to be bedding in. Deer will bed on small twigs and small sticks, but if there's a large branch that has fallen from a tree, after a storm, or maybe you had cut up another tree the past winter and you haven't gotten that out of your bedding area yet, deer are not going to lay on that, and so you want to make sure that you clear the bedding area out of any debris just so the deer have as many options as possible when choosing an individual bed within your bedding location. For example, in this bedding location right behind me, I have a great location for deer to bed with more of an easterly wind. They can bed up next to this thick cover, have the wind kind of blowing over their back and looking towards the camera, a nice open view. That's exactly what the deer want. Unfortunately, I have a pile of wood right here to my left. And so right now, the deer are not using this area to bed in. They're using other areas of this bedding area for their individual beds. But as soon as we clear out this pile of wood, we can expect the deer to use this area as well. And you really just want to be giving the deer as many options as possible, because right now this might be housing 1 or 2 doe families, but during the hunting season, when the hunting pressure goes up on the surrounding properties, that could push more deer onto our property. And so we want to make sure that we have as many individual bedding locations as possible within our bedding areas. So clearing out any unwanted debris is essential for giving those deer as many options as possible for individual beds. Again, they don't want to lay on sticks, they don't want to lay on logs. If it looks like it's going to be uncomfortable to lay on, just get rid of it. You can have one big brush pile off to the side of your bedding area and just take all the sticks and pile them up right there. Along with keeping the individual beds clear, you want to make sure that all of your escape routes remain clear. And this is probably even more important because if you have an individual bed that's blocked by a stick, they'll most likely find another bedding location within that bedding area. But if you have an entire escape path that's blocked, but let's say a downed tree after a storm went through, or maybe you knocked the tree down in the off season and you haven't come back to open that escape path back up, they will likely not use that bedding area at all. And the reason being is, if they are in this location and there's not multiple ways to get in and out, they will not feel safe in this location. Because if there's only one way in and they're in the middle and a predator comes in, there's no way out. And the deer know it. And they're not going to risk bedding in here if they think that there's only one way in and one way out. You have to always make sure in these bedding locations you have multiple ways in and multiple ways out. This is important for an individual bed, and it's also essential for the bedding area as a whole. This is also something we need to address in this bedding location. We have probably 5 or 6 ways in or out of this bedding area, but one of our escape paths has been blocked by an ash tree that fell down in one of the recent thunderstorms. So we need to come back in here and block up that ash tree and make sure that that escape path is open back up, so that if a predator or a hunter comes in from one direction, those deer can escape out the other way. That's exactly what they want. They want to make sure that if a predator comes in from one way, they can get out the back. If the predator comes in from the back, they can get out the front. They want to make sure that wherever they are in that bedding area, they can get out safely to where the predator, you the hunter, never knows that they were there. So that covers it for basic bedding area maintenance. You want to make sure that these individual deer beds are clear of debris, and you want to also make sure that your escape paths within the bedding area as a whole remain open. We made this bedding area last year, so in a couple years when this new growth gets a lot taller, we are going to have to come back in here and re-hinge. But until then, all we really need to do is keep the deer beds clear, keep our escape paths clear, and let the sunlight do the rest. If you guys are doing anything else to keep the deer using your bedding areas, I'd love to hear about it. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to get back to those as soon as I can, but we will see you guys in the next video.